Oh, here we go.
All right, everybody, welcome to the call today. This is Scott Pierce. Yee, how you doing?
I'm good. So
Awesome. Thanks
excited.
everybody
Now the
for
Super
joining
Bowl's
us.
over.
I'm sorry.
So excited. Now the Super Bowl is over. Now let's get back to business.
Yeah. What a crazy Super Bowl. Actually, I heard that Mahomes had a really hard hit during the first quarter,
Oh, wow.
and that is
Yeah.
which doesn't surprise me. Oh my God, because like that was such a blowout game that when I heard that, and I didn't really see the play where it looked like it was that hard of a hit, but I'm not a professional
Yeah.
doctor.
It's
Right, but I mean,
political
he was
sometimes.
way below normal.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so
All right.
today we are going to be covering new construction. Absolutely awesome for a lot of people, I think. So, in listings to leads, there are a lot of custom landing pages where you can use video, images, market the incentives people have with things like countdown clocks or videos. A lot of great ideas here, even individual units. So you can market like a whole suburb or a whole building, or you can market actual individual units as well. And, this is such a phenomenal way to get listings, but also to get buyer leads, obviously. Have you got any new construction with or any experience with new
Well,
construction in your past?
before we even get into this topic, I think you want to focus on like I think you touched a little bit about it. Like why? Why is like, the agents need to focus on new construction?
Yeah, thank you. So new construction, even if you've got listings, sometimes it's nice to have something fresh, right? It's especially if you don't have a lot of listings, or like most agents maybe got one listing and you've had it for a while and you keep marketing that listing. You can borrow other agents' listings, and we always recommend that you do so that you've got new inventory to market. But
Mhm.
you don't have to be limited to marketing one listing at a time, right? There's a lot of ways you can market a listing without throwing money behind it. With listing leads, we give you a lot of those capabilities. But having new construction just gives you another visibility point within your marketplace to show people that you've got ways of working with you, right? You want to have visibility. You want to have content that you can put out there. And new construction is so popular. There are some buyers, right? And when you were in mortgage, you knew this, where they were kind of like the new construction buyer, where they weren't really interested in a resale home. They wanted new construction.
Well, I think people love brand new homes, right?
Mm,
Also, new construction caters to first-time home buyers a lot, and
yeah.
then so that opens up a lot of first-time home buyer programs, incentives, and also just given the market the way it is, the builders are offering all the incentives in the world right now. So, from affordability standpoint, it's a great market to tackle. And one more thing, you don't, like you said, you don't need a listing.
Yeah.
You don't. So you don't have to worry about like feeling embarrassed asking somebody to borrow a listing.
Right. Yeah, and most most builders, most developers are gonna, they're gonna welcome the extra, the extra visibility to their stuff. And especially if they're not even in the MLS, that
Right.
would be a phenomenal time to be able to market a property because it's not available anywhere else. All right. And so whether it's, the just the regular people in your database that would love to see that new uh development that just went in, they haven't seen it before, the new building went up and they hadn't had a chance to see it, they're going to want to see what it looks like. Like he said, there's a lot of people, they like the idea of new construction. They don't want to deal with somebody else's mess. And I think, another place I think the agent really fits in here, and yeah, you've read these articles, right, about the building quality or suspect quality on some new
Mhm.
construction. And if you're a buyer, that can be kind of hard to know, well, which builder has a good reputation, right? Which one doesn't have a reputation? What are some of the other buyers maybe that have bought that, you know, the average buyer is not going to be able to have access to as an agent? You do through the grapevine or your own experience to know, which development has not the best reputation, right? Because we've all heard those horror stories where somebody goes to sell their home a year or two later, and then they find out that that new construction, it was new, but it may not have been the best construction out there.
Yeah, I think it just, when you use these landing pages, when you get into the market, it also create branding, right, for these
Yep.
agents. So it helps develop relationships with builders down the road as well.
Well, yeah, and as Cindy said, right, whether their interest rates buy down, whether it is a incentive at the design center, whether it is a concession or whatever it is, builders, especially if they got more than a few, or if they want to just get that inventory sold to roll it over to the next project, they want that stuff sold. And yeah, Cindy, exactly right. And we can use those kinds of incentives like you see here, right? So on this landing page, $9,000 in incentives at Park Condos, new condo construction in Soma, that's south of Market. If you lived in San Francisco, that would be, you would know that. Perfect City Living, right? If we go back over here, amazing incentives, 2,500 in closing cost credit, 10,000 upgrade credits. So you can see there's a lot of different ways to get those incentives that the builders are marketing. And again, whether it is the individual unit, which we'll talk about, or it's the entire development that you're marketing. And you could do both at the same time. Absolutely no problem. So first of all, everybody, you can go to listingsleads.com/new construction. You're going to see essentially it's more or less the playbook. It's the write-up for new construction. You'll see some examples of the links right here if you haven't seen them before, where you can look at some of those landing pages. And you're going to see step one, step two is very simple. Step one, identify the new construction projects that you want to potentially market. I would say keep in mind, know your buyer and your seller avatar so that you don't pick a new construction development that is so far outside of your normal business or that you're not planning to get into.
That's a good point.
Yeah, right. I
The
mean, it's
goal is to
easy.
attract buyers, right? So yeah, you want them to convert somehow. So you don't want to like go out there that nobody's
Yeah,
in. Yeah, yeah. That makes
yeah.
sense.
Like not far from this area. Well, I say not far, but I'm kind of disproving my point. But like an hour away from here, there's a lot of new construction. It would be very easy to market it, but do I really want to drive out there for sure? No, I don't want to, right? It's a 40-minute drive. It's on the complete other side of the metropolitan area. If that's something you want to do, great. But, also I want to keep in mind the price point. So I don't want to go too high or necessarily get a project that's not moving. Now, on the one hand, you know, if it was in my geographical area, I might be okay with marketing a property that's, maybe a little bit higher end because not many people that come in off of that listing are going to buy that particular property, right? We know that from regular real estate marketing, but just be cognizant of what you're going to put money and time behind. Gather the information. So let's put that in your CRM. Let's add them as a contact. Let's treat them like a business opportunity because every single one of these are, right? Builders, they are typically around for a while. They're going to be in your area for a while. So whether it is a local LLC or partnership or regional, right, or someone national where you got a local connection that you can get into some of their inventory, but treat
Mhm.
this as an investment and as a business opportunity. So I would set them up in my database. I want to make sure that I've got a plan for staying in touch with them. And, writing a blog post can be an awesome way to market, but also get some SEO and as well as having something later to send to people. So, as you're gathering all this information about these different new construction, think about writing a blog post that can serve as a repository of everything you know about that place, but also as something to get SEO. So that's going to be great long-term evergreen content that you can always promote. And then just go update it once in a while as things change with that development,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, yeah, because you want to store that. You don't want to just treat a builder or developer as, just some random person. I want them in my database. And then, why would I not take and write a nice blog post? And later we can show you how you could actually embed a landing page or a call to action in there. But for now, step three, determine and or do both. Either you're going to market a specific unit, so a specific property or specific condo, or you're going to market the entire development. And again, you can do both at the same time. if we're going to market a specific unit, ask the builder if they got videos, 3D tours, professional photos. If they do or if they don't, that's a great place for you to step in, add some of your expertise as a real estate marketer of, kind of some of the assets they're going to want to have. All right. I'm not going to want to, I'm not going to want to pay for it, but I could help organize. So if they need a drone video, right? Maybe you've got a drone operator, video person that can come out and do it for them, professional videos, professional photos if they don't have them. So use your expertise as an agent to, you don't want to get into their business, but to help them, right, do a better job to market their properties, because that can help you in the long run.
Do agents normally have to go talk to the builder that I'm marketing your new development, like for a specific unit? Like,
Yeah, I definitely would, for sure. Yeah, I would definitely go to the builder, because I'm going to want to, it's kind of like I'm going to ask them with the assumption they're going to say yes. So as I'm asking them, I'm really going to frame it as in, all right, let's say, Doug. Okay, I'm going to be Doug. You're going to be the builder. And I would approach and I would just say something along the lines of, I saw your unit is for sale, $800,000, a 3-bedroom over there. Could I market that to my social media and my database audiences? Essentially, all you got to ask them. They're going to say yes, right? If you want to, you could say something like, I got 5,000 people in my Facebook group. I got 10,000 people in my database, and I'd love to put your inventory, your property, your home, your condo in front of my database, in front of my audience.
right.
Because really,
Can I add one more? Or
yeah.
incentives
Mhm.
and the incentives.
I'm sorry.
The incentives of the builder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I got into conversation with them, because when I'm asking them for permission to market their property,
Yeah.
as I'm asking them, I'm trying to convey my expertise so that they are excited to say yes. And then, of course, you're exactly right. That's the next thing we want to ask. So, Yi, what are some of the questions that we want to ask, especially from like finance perspective? Because this is so important to market that new construction without knowing this, inside and out, is leaving a lot on the table.
Right. Okay. I think the first thing is, do they have any maximum closing cost credit? Like what's
Mm,
the percentage of the price, right? I
right.
want
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, they either give you a percentage or a dollar amount.
Right. 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 Exactly.
Okay,
Okay.
then second one would be for design center, how much credit can a buyer get?
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, that's interesting because imagine, I think a lot of new builds, it takes certain time. So do they have a certain interest rate lock period? So the
Yeah.
buyer is guaranteed not to lose that rate. And what,
I was working with another client the other day, and yeah, the builder was offering, I believe it was a 3.99% buy down for year one, and then a 5.99 lifetime.
oh wow, that's good.
Yeah. So that was like one of those two. And then I believe there's also a 17,000 um, purchase price credit or something like that. So it was a couple of different things. So yeah, like to give permission to market the new construction and then to not have that next conversation. Again, make sure you understand everything that they're offering. And again, as an agent, you might want to recommend some stuff, right? You might want to ask them like, hey, listen, if this new construction has been on the market for, 3 or 4 months and you haven't sold it yet, have you thought about some of these other especially the financing options to help get somebody in the door?
Right. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, right. Because, you know,
Mhm.
again, the builder may not be an expert real estate agent. Maybe they are, but maybe they're not. Or maybe it's one of those things where, their significant other, a family member is a part-time agent, and they're kind of like that, you know,
'Cause
worker who, isn't really, they're not a hungry agent, right? They're just kind of a
right.
captive
Yeah,
agent because it's their family member that does the stuff. So they don't know, right, how to market a property efficiently. So there's a lot of value the agent can bring. And again, this is where that having that lender partner can come into play. Because again, and it's funny in the chat, I'm seeing a few people said, oh, you can't, no, nobody ever allows us to market their new construction. And then other people are going, everybody allows us to. So,
That's
I think
cool. Yeah.
it's the bigger ones you may have a problem getting into, maybe. But again, if get to know the salespeople, get to know the people that are local in your area. But I'm thinking more of the smaller, right? Some of them, because I can think of half a dozen around where we're at that I could go and ask them, no problem, right? So
Yeah.
I'm sure wherever you're at, unless you're just in some completely random place, there are going to be people around where you can get their inventory. Yeah, and their developments. Yeah, yep.
That's cool.
And
Very cool. Yeah.
every word is said twice. The sound is fine on my end. All right, Lisa, thank you for that. Sometimes if you got two windows open of the same call, like you might be on Facebook and YouTube, that's going to give you a lot, or you might have YouTube open in two different places. So I would check that if you're getting odd sound. So, okay, great. So I would say we ask for permission. We ask about the incentives. Then we're going to ask about what marketing assets do they have, right? Where can I go download photos? Do you have a property video? Do you have any drone footage? Do you have a 3D tour? And again, offer some expertise in that area as well. Again, I'm not going to sit there and pay for their photos, but I've got a professional photographer that I can refer to them, or a drone operator, or a video. Now, when we get into the marketing aspect of it, you are going to do a walkthrough video, right? There's a lot of things you are going to do, but for some of these key items, right? We can work as a facilitator, but they haven't hired me. I'm not on contract yet, so I'm not paying for it. So yeah, if we scroll down here again, we're going to see those links for more examples. And then we'll come back to this a little bit later, but this is just about building relationships with builders and developers. I have had some great phone calls with clients where, they've been building relationships with, in fact, that's where, the listing presentation and listings to leads, that actually in part, now that I think about it, was created with new construction in mind, because it was
Oh,
a client and I was talking with him like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And he was having a big meeting with this developer, and he'd been marketing his properties just like what we're talking about here. He'd been marketing his properties for a couple of years, had good success. And he's like, the guy is expanding and he's growing. And so I want to, we've had talks about me becoming their in-house agent. And so they had the big meeting set up. And so I was walking him through how to present it. And that's when I think the whole idea came up, where let me just build this PDF out. And then, that's gone
oh
down
no.
that.
It's a tremendous success.
Yeah, right. Because I totally remember that call, because he was so excited, and I think he had it in the bag, right? Because he had been working for a few years, but it was a really cool phone call, because he was just like, "I'm going to go present," and him and a couple of partners or whatever it was going to be, and so yeah, that was pretty. It's funny because I totally forgot about that until we were just talking. All right, so now
So,
that you've got the idea, the unit or the development,
mhm.
you've talked to them. You've had a good conversation. They're excited about you putting their inventory in front of your audience. You're excited about doing it. Now what? All right. Now we got to get to work, and we need to make this happen. We need to generate some leads. We want to get some business. Real quickly here, the sound is still good. Any feedback real quickly? Everybody good? The visuals are good. The audio is good from everybody. Let me get a quick system check here. Refresh. All right. I've never had an issue. They always tell me. Yeah. Yeah, Brenda. Yeah. Thank you for the comment. Yeah. Right. Now I can get some of the bigger companies. They have processes, whatever, but you know what? You can't fight what you can't fight. All right. First of all, let's talk about a listing, because that should be a little bit easier. If you've ever attended any of our trainings, this will be very straightforward. Now, if the listing is in the MLS, that's fine. You can just go grab listing, put in the zip code, MLS ID. I would uncheck that right there, because it's not your listing. So just uncheck that, hit grab. That will pull the listing into the system. It will set it up for you being the showing agent. It'll put in the listing agent's information. It's the same as borrowing a listing, right? So if you've ever borrowed a listing where you grabbed it, that's the same process. So that's one way. But if it is not in the MLS, even better. All right. So now you've got something that not too many people have seen. So you're going to get, I think, a lot more out of it if it's not in the MLS. Now you got to take about 5 minutes to upload it. But just imagine this as being content creation. You're creating content, and then the Listings to Leads platform is going to give that visibility with the call to actions and the lead capture and help us generate business.
And with the easy Facebook, IG launch, you can just get
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, I got a really crazy story about Chat GPT AI and our default ads, which I'll get to in a minute. But when you're adding the listing, so add it, coming soon, just listed, that's fine, whichever is appropriate. Custom status banner, you can go new construction. Headline, just work your way down. I'm a showing marketing agent. Make sure that is checked because that'll turn off a few things. That way you can put the builder's name, put in the information here. Nothing earth shattering, just all basic stuff. Click save and add photos, add the 1 or 2 photos, add all the photos that you got on the next page. And then when you do that, it's going to drop you back on the listings page. You'll be at that listing, and I'm going to show you first how to add photos, videos, and a few other things that will make your listing pop a little bit more. So when I go to edit, videos 3D tour, so I can drop in a YouTube link, embed code, I can upload, got unbranded tools right there if you need it for whatever reason. So I got a YouTube video. So if your builder has a YouTube video, great. And then I got again, 3D tour as well. And then I got all my professional photos. So you can make sure you upload all the professional photos so they look great. All right, they're going to look absolutely beautiful. And if I click on the single property website, just so you can get a feel for how it looks. So there's the video. And there's the 3D tour. Now, all of these you can move them around. So if you wanted the video further down, you could. The 3D tour up, you could. Check this out.
Oh, that's cool. The community tour video. Oh,
Right. So what if you did a community tour video for their development before you even talk to them, and you had that YouTube video? Well, wouldn't it make sense if I've got a community video on YouTube that I would put that community video with the listings that are in the community? So, and this is great stuff for your normal marketing. So if you've got listings in, XYZ, and you got a YouTube video community tour for that same area, let our support team know or let me know in the mastermind group, and I'll walk you through how to add that. So it's just right there with all your listings, right? With the appropriate ones, of course. And then here's the beautiful thing though, as we are marketing, right? As we're marketing,
it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
I mean, that looks hot, doesn't it? Right. So, again, the listing is what brings them in. That's the content. But then, of course, they're going to have a lot of other questions, and we don't know what they are. They could be a homeowner that's looking at that because they want to downsize, or they just want to get a sense of what the market is doing, or, they're just kind of starting their search for a real estate agent to sell their home. And look at all the seller lead capture, right? So it's really embedded throughout. There's the brochure. Here are the PDF guides. And so this is why you really want to make sure when you're throwing things on Facebook, oh my God, don't throw your IDX link. Don't throw your Zillow link. Don't throw your MLS link. Make sure you grab your Listings to Leads single property website, all your client reviews. And I've even got a client review video down here. So, that listing, remember I said before about visibility, about content. So the listing is what's going to get people engaging with us. And hey, they may become a client right off that listing itself. That's awesome. But if they don't, we got the other listings, the guides, the 100-point home marketing plan, all those other engagement points to get more leads.
Okay, can I just ask you that question?
Mhm.
Why not the IDX, the link? Why is that you recommend them not having those? Because they're distracting? I mean, and not
Well,
generating any
so
lead.
yeah, all right. So IDX is just overwhelming. I mean, you land
Yeah,
on somebody's
okay.
IDX, there's 5 million different things you can do and get lost into.
Okay.
And, they're never that attractive. They're really not. So, if I'm the agent and I'm talking to the seller and I'm promoting their listing and they were to see that link up on Facebook,
They're losing.
it's not the most attractive thing for my seller to see. But if they
Uh,
see in the MLS, obviously we don't want to be doing. If you're using Zillow links anywhere other than on Zillow, right? It's almost like shame on you. That's just the worst, like fail, right? Why would you send traffic to Zillow?
right. That's a good point. That's it. That's all you need to hear. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you literally just lose them.
right.
Now, it's great that your client reviews are on Zillow. You can put your client reviews into listings to leads, right? Testimonial tree, Google, anywhere. You don't need to send people to Zillow for your reviews. All right. You don't need to send people to Zillow for anything, nothing. All right.
Just to
So I don't want
recap.
to spend too
Yeah.
much time on the marketing of that new construction listing. I'm going to do an overview because, again, we do this every day. But here's the funny thing. I ran the same exact ad 3 times last week for new construction. In 2 of the ads, I promoted one of the ads, I promoted the fact that there was down payment assistance available, i.e. the
Mhm,
$17,000 I referenced earlier.
mhm.
And the ad was written by ChatGPT, right? So I went to AI and I refined it and I know what I'm doing, but I wanted to, take ChatGPT. And so I worked with ChatGPT, did some good editing. Again, the down payment assistance call to action was the primary one. Ran that ad, $50. I did a second ad. ChatGPT wrote it with the buy down as the call to action,
Mhm.
right? The 3.99% for year one. Da da da. Again, $50, 5 days, and then I ran an ad with like literally our complete default. Didn't change one thing. Nothing.
And
The
I
two
think I
chat
was the best.
the two ChatGPT ads came in at $25 a lead.
Are you kidding?
The ad from Listings to Leads came in at $6 a lead.
Wow.
Yeah. And $6 is nothing great. I mean, $6 is all right, but it's nothing to brag about, right?
Yeah,
So,
but compared to
but
25 bucks.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because you see all these ads. I can see all these ads now up on Facebook, and you can tell they're all written by ChatGPT because they've
Right.
got the 4 to 5 paragraphs. They got the emojis all the same way. So they're all so obvious, and that's fine. I don't care. All I care about is what works. And so, anyways, all 3 ads, the 2 from ChatGPT were complete failures. 2 leads for $50.
What did
That's
I tell you?
embarrassing.
Like, you don't rely everything on ChatGPT, you still have to edit it, and sometimes
I did edit.
it's so long, because you wanna make it, I don't know, just the fancy words.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
the long
Yeah.
story short, you kinda wanna have your own little touch, and sometimes simplified version works the best. And then
Yeah,
you know what?
right?
Just go to
I
the
mean,
default. Just go to the default.
now let me bring this over here real quickly. So this ad right here, and I cut it off the top. This ad right here, $3 a lead ad. So name, email, phone number, and purchase time frame. So new construction there. She's got a nice picture of
Sure,
the
let's
area,
see
right?
where what? I can't see it on the
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? You can't see my screen. All right, hold on a second. You
yeah.
know what? I apologize, everybody. I'm showing because it's in StreamYard here. And so let me do this. Yeah, I didn't think about that because we're displaying a window. And so if I go into Facebook,
Yeah.
I'm gonna upload this into the mastermind group real quick. And then that way, can you see my Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Now I'm not going to put anything with it. So everybody in the mastermind groups can be like, what the hell are you doing that for? But for all of us here, this will make perfect sense. All right. So this ad right here, yeah, like two something, I think it was two something a lead in the last like 10 days. So I just found this today. And the reason I liked it is because it's not our default and it's not Chat GPT, right? Because it was Chat GPT, there'd be 4 or 5 emojis all over it, and you would have that 2 to 3 bullet point thing going on like it always does, right? Start fresh in Southwest Florida, ready for a change in scenery, a lower cost of living, no state income tax, a better quality of life, right? So she's giving, right, some of the positives about the area, right? Obviously in Florida, a lot of people are coming down there from the north, right? Booming new construction market offers modern homes and vibrant communities. So these are just new construction in general. She's not even naming a development. And to that point, I would never name the development in my marketing. Otherwise, they can
Oh,
just go there.
right. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. Because it's a
Yeah,
lead form. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but we're just going to talk about new construction homes. And so, yeah, that's and again, testing, trying new things, is awesome, but don't feel like you have to go away from the default just to be different and successful, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Because
So,
we tested many times.
yeah. And so you can see I got new construction in my template. Now, if you're using Canva and you want to pull in some beautiful designs from Canva, all you got to do is click change image and video and just upload your Canva image. And it can even be a video. And let's talk a little bit about video just real quick. If you want to use video in an ad, make sure it is like a commercial where you're teasing the development or you're teasing the unit a little bit, and then you ended up with a let's go inside and see it together type of call to action.
Uh-huh.
You don't throw the whole video in the ad. I see people making that mistake sometimes, and they just watch the video in the ad. They don't even click through because they just watch the whole video.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So your video, your video, just make sure, it's a commercial designed to get people to continue forward. And so Doug says in your
Like a
instructions,
tease,
you
right?
can
Like a
say,
little tease.
oh yeah, no, Doug, I'm like in 200 words. Yeah, no, I would never make it allow it to be that long. But yeah, anyways, hey, I'll tell you what, Doug, you or anybody else, if you ever have, ad copy that you think just was awesome, share it with me. I'd love to see it. But yeah, anyways, location, special housing ad category. We're showing a lifetime budget of $35. You can bump that up to whatever you want. Right. It's going to run for 1 week by default. You can change that to anything you want. And again, like I was saying, if I've got a Canva image or GIF or video that I want to use, I can use that here. And again, like I was referencing, you could do a little walkthrough intro and use that as well. We give you like 21 different image templates. So you can see here, I can click change template, and there's a bunch of different templates there. I like this one the best because it shows a few different photos and it lets people know how many more images there are. And that's what gets clicks. Carousels don't perform as well, right? Videos typically don't perform as well. It's funny, but it's the tried. I just got off the phone with somebody who's one of the top web companies, 3,000 a month. Well, 2,200 to them. And he's like, Scott, I just came back into listening to leads. I was doing $25 leads with them. And he goes, I
Wow.
ran an open house this weekend and I got $2 leads.
We
Right.
like stories like that.
Well, yeah, and sometimes when you're marketing the new construction,
Mhm.
don't necessarily go over the top promoting new construction. Right. Now remember that ad I talked about earlier, right? That third ad that was just regular. All it said was just listed. So it didn't even say new. All of a sudden, the only new construction was down here where it said new construction in the image. But
Mm,
otherwise, they can see from the photo it's new construction right here. So to that point, I would say test, run an ad where you start off with new construction in Folsom or whatever the area is. And then the other time you can do it, try just listed and see how you do. Because again, that's gonna impact things. Now again, I can also test down payment assistance options
available.
available.
Mm.
Now here's where people start getting into trouble. Then they start adding in too many things, right? Then they go, uh, rate buy down option for, and I'm just off the top of my head, this is not something I'm running
For
with.
first year or something, they put it in there.
Yeah, right, yeah. Year one, right? And then you can overload it with so many things.
Mm.
So I always tell people, start off with the default text first and do an ad without changing anything, and that way you can get a feel for it. And then the next week maybe add in and kind of edit things up a little bit. The only caveat with that is going to be, and I see this every single day is proven to me because I look at the back end system stats. The people that run ads the most consistent over time end up getting the lowest cost per lead over time. Right. Anytime I get someone complaining about leads and cost per lead, and I go into their account, they ran an ad in December, they ran an ad in January, maybe they ran one at the end of January, but there's no consistency. And so, the algorithm it keeps starting and stopping, and it's not learning, right? It's not learning what kind of audience is best for you because you keep stopping and starting constantly.
Okay, so what you're saying is, like, what would be a good consistent time frame for people to run on? Like, what do you see people run it for 1 week, they stop, and they start up again in a month? Like, or you
Every week,
every
every
week?
week, every week, run an ad for a listing that's for sale. All right, that could be new construction. That could be your listing. That could be a listing that you borrow. No, I mean, imagine this. If I've got a listing that I've had for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I've ran a couple of ads for it. The worst thing is when that listing is not even in an area that I want to get more listings for, right? I've talked to a number of agents. They're like, I don't even want to get listings in that area. It's a little bit out there, whatever it is. I don't want anything. That's where new construction can really come into play because it
Right.
can give you something to market that is for your buyer and even your seller avatar,
Mm, very
right?
good. Yeah,
But
what
again,
what
the
people
key
don't
is,
realize
pardon me?
what people don't realize is you use new construction as a bait because these buyers
Mhm.
are not really fixed on buying new construction, right? They could be
Yeah, they could be.
resale.
Well, I think you're going to have the people who would prefer new construction, and then you're
Right.
going to have the people that don't care.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You're not going to get the people that prefer new construction if you're not marketing new construction as much. Because the
Mhm.
people that like new construction are typically drawn to it. And one other thing I'm going to mention is, and I've noticed this recently as well, sometimes those really, really sterile images that you can get from new construction may not be the best. Try to get an image that looks a little bit more, not like it was an architectural drawing.
Yeah, I got
'Cause
you. It's like a pre-built, like yeah.
yeah, there's no personality. Like you'll see
Mm,
the image, and I apologize for not having an image up for it.
yeah, I know
But if
what you
we
mean.
if we come back to this one, you see, that's not that this is great. Now you don't have to have palm trees and the beautiful sunset, but you got to have a nice inviting image,
Mm.
right? This is an ad. This isn't Sesame Street. All right. This isn't, whatever it is. This is professionalism. This is an ad. We're trying to get people to have a feeling. We want people to want to click. And so, in a couple of ads I've seen recently that weren't performing well, when I'd look at it, it was just a very sterile, right? It was like the garage door and the driveway and the street. and the
Just
home
not
was
very inviting
perfect.
at all. Yeah.
There's no trees,
No curb. Yeah.
no, but there's a lawn, but there was no other vegetation. The sky was a perfect blue, and it looked almost like it looked almost like an AI drawing of a house. It was so perfect.
Probably is.
I don't think so, but it could have been. It definitely could have been. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're gonna market this property like normal, right? $35, you're gonna get maybe, I don't know, could get a couple of thousand people. I was looking at one ad this morning,
Yeah.
$70, 6,000 views.
Whoa. I wanna
Yeah,
see that one.
yeah, yeah. And that's not extraordinary.
Mhm.
What I thought, the reason I was looking at this, I saw a $70 budget on a listing from somebody I know, and I was just kind of curious, and I was like, oh, pretty nice. But anyways, you're gonna do the social media post. If this is new construction that's in a neighborhood, so maybe it is like a 2 to 3 unit building, maybe it's a single family home, it could be 3 to 4 homes that are in a larger area, then you got the opportunity to use the nearby homeowner letter. If you are not sold on this is what Dustin Fox uses, this is what Corey Smallman, 13 listings in one neighborhood last year, like last year, this one letter, 13 listings in one neighborhood. Now he got other listings in other neighborhoods, but to get 13 in one area is pretty darn good. And so again, now if your new construction is way the hell out there and there's just nobody else around, then you won't have this opportunity. But I bet you might be in an area where you could use this. All right. And I'll tell you, we haven't even talked about. Imagine if I could get to do an open house at new construction. Man, that could be a really good opportunity as well. So don't, I should add that to I should actually add that to our training. But if I can get the builder or whoever it is to allow me to do an open house and even to do a neighbor preview, man, oh man, that would be golden. So, anyways, the letter, right? You got the postcards. Oh, yeah, let's get there. There we go. So we got the postcards here and the door hangers, obviously. And the one here,
everything on the left side works for new construction.
Yeah. Everything but the stuff for the seller.
Right, but
now, and again, make sure to get the e-flyer to your database. I'm going to walk you through how to send this out from a different CRM, but you want to get this, check this out, right? Showing off. But again, that could be the development, that could be the specific unit. And we're going to go through creating a landing page here in a little bit for a specific development. Got your listings to lead signature at the bottom, right? That's linking to your what is your Homeworth landing page. And this email is again, this is kind of like putting links on social media. And I see people again using IDX, using their MLS, using Zillow, all fail. All right. And same with e-flyers. I see people, oh my God, they're using the e-flyer that sends people back to their MLS or to their IDX. I've seen all sorts of crazy stuff. This one is designed to pull not just buyers, but homeowners that want to buy, that need to sell. All right. We got that right there. And again, when they go to the single property website from listings to leads, you don't get this at your IDX. I've never seen an IDX showing off a property that looks like this, right? I have never seen an IDX with a 3D tour, with a community video, with professional photos, right? You get the MLS photos typically, I think, with all this other engagement. You would never get this with your IDX. You'll never get this with your MLS, and you'll never get this with Zillow. So when you're not using your listings to leads e-flyer, you're literally missing out on opportunity to engage your database. So whether you send it through listings to leads here, or if you're using KV Core, Boomtown, Lofty, YLOPO, copy that code. There's a copy code button right there. So start timing me. Well, you don't have to count out loud, but this is how easy it is. Go to where you're going to send an email, right? So there's my email. So I might say new And again, notice I'm never using the development name, but all you do is you click the button here called source. You'll see it in your CRM. They have all, what it does is it launches a pop-up. And then I just got I close it, and then there we go. So my beautiful little slideshow right there. I got my GIF going to the landing page for the home value. And then I've got my listings to lead signature there, and just get that out the door, right? Again, I want my audience, right? I got the ad, I got the post. We had the short form video script that you saw in there. We got the e-flyer. I want the visibility. I want to be associated with this listing. This is going to help me get more people engaging with me on social media, out of my database, out of the farm, if that listing, if that new construction is in a appropriate farm area. Again, don't forget your database call script.
30 seconds. That was the
Oh, how long?
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. So it took 30 seconds to copy that email from listings to leads to send out through my database. Linking automatically to the property website, linking automatically to those landing pages. Nothing you need to do there. All of that's automatic. Deb, yes, it is exactly right. What about an ad for one of the? Yeah, I'm going to totally get to that. Thank you for mentioning it. A couple more just really quick things here. Short form video script. Please, this is the free. This is like some of the best visibility you're going to get for free, right? We give you the script. The biggest problem most people have with short form video, they don't know what to say, and they don't know how to say it, right? So what am I going to talk about today?
Follow the script.
Well, yeah, it's so easy to think like, oh, how hard can it be? Well, when you got to think about a million other things, it can get really hard. And so, yeah, I always tell people, whether you use the script word for word, paraphrase it, or just for inspiration, when you're on the marketing calendar, you're going to see every single day there's a script. Grab it and run and stop overthinking it. All right. Yeah. And you can even offer the builder. Check this out. If you wanted to, right? You could offer them sign writers and text codes. So if you're subscribed to the Listings to Leads text service, for a builder, it may not be very economical for them to have a program like this, because they're not selling homes all the time necessarily. And so for you to be able to even offer them, say, hey, I can give you, I got listing flyers I'll use to promote it. Right? Gorgeous flyer. We have like 30 or 40 different templates, I think, right? There's a ton of them down there. So anyways, that is for marketing that new construction listing specifically. Any questions from you or anything from the, some of the scripts included links. Yes. Is that your house? No, that's not my house. No, but it is kind of a cool looking house. I'll tell you that much. All right. Landing pages.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Okay, go.
Yep. All right. You're going to see along the top, there's 4 landing. Actually, there's 5. There's like 6 at this point. We got a few more coming. So when you get here, free home values, down payment assistance, and new construction. All 3 of these landing pages have custom domains. So Patrick, that you're mentioning about the domain. So when I click the green marketing tools button, and then let me just go to edit. So I'm gonna click on edit. A couple of things here. Social media share image. So that'll be the image when I share it on social media, and I can edit it. Again,
this is AI generated, by the way.
Yeah, actually that image was from Grok. I kept asking for just 2 kids, but it would only give me 3 kids. I don't know why, just killing me. Got my autoresponder. Domain. So here's what's really cool. Check out that domain, folsombrandnewhomes.com. Right? So it's that domain. So when I'm marketing this landing page, that could say, that could be the development name. That could be, your area. And we got like a lot of domains to select from. Let's see if I go to edit. Yeah. new construction homes for you, new construction homes now, right? A lot of different domains.
Yeah, we can see all that here. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to see that, but you got like 5 or 6 primary domains that are
Okay.
all related to new construction. And the reason for that is it's just going to make your marketing look a little bit more professional.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to use your pixel tracking, all that, your tags, CRM lead source, a few other options right there. But, and then if I go to the editor, so here, image, I'm not going to spend a lot of time just pointing in the right direction. If I want to use video, you can use video full screen, do a solid color. There's an upload here where I can upload my images or videos. If you ever need any help with that, let our support team know. And then styles and color. So if you want to change the colors and all that.
There are
To
a lot
change
of,
the, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
customization options.
Yeah, so to change the text, just click on where it says lead form text right there. Oh, sorry about that. So it says lead form text, just open that up. And here you can see I got new construction homes in El Dorado, which is right here above the lead form. Learn more about new homes, schedule tours. So you can see where all of that is going to drop there. Custom page content. This is where you can select from a couple of different, the countdown counter is one that I like for new construction, especially where it relates to, as you can see here, new, in this case, financing, right? It could be related to a buy down or whatever it is. But a lot of these incentives will have a time frame. So this countdown counter right underneath custom page content. You can even do a video. So again, you saw earlier, I had a video in one of my landing pages. So you can see there, and people, the video will autoplay.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You could do an image there. It could be a bullet point there, right? Whatever you want. But for new construction, it's usually either going to be put a video or a countdown counter like this. And if you use the countdown counter, you just type in here what you want. Above it, you go to the date and time here. There's a little calendar. And then lastly, the information, how you want to collect it. You'll see it all here. Make things required, optional, hide them. Normally for buyer leads, I just want name and email. You don't need their home address, so you never need a home address for a buyer lead. If you want to gather the phone number, you can. I would rely on Facebook lead ads for the phone number though, because you'll get them a lot more often. If you try to put a phone number field in here, the first thing that will happen is you will lose about 90% of your leads, and the phone numbers you do get won't be great phone numbers. So I would just recommend not asking for the phone number here. And if you really want to go after the phone number, when you go to do the ad, do it as a Facebook lead ad, and then you'll get phone numbers 100% of the time. And usually, 70 to 80% of them are going to be good. So, you'll get a few phone numbers from Facebook that are bad, but by and large, now they may not answer. They may not answer right away, but 70 to 80% usually on Facebook are good phone numbers.
If I were a buyer, I was just saying, if I were a buyer and I saw this beautiful ad and I've clicked, I'm definitely really interested. Like I'm a serious buyer. I would think like a lot of them are serious buyers. Yeah.
So now, once you got that, and again, that landing page, you can use it for a general new construction in the area, kind of like what we saw with that other ad right here. So again, she's not marketing to a specific development, whether you mention the development or not, right? So I can still market to a specific development without mentioning it, but she is doing more of just an overall general new construction in the area, which is great, because that way there's even more reason for people to call you, because you've just got all the information about all the new construction in the area. And so again, here's our ad copy. All right, there's the image that we talked about earlier. Attention home buyers, get a free report, pros and cons buying new construction homes. All right, again, all this is editable. All they have to do is type in the location. Now, if this was a seller ad, I would walk you through how to do a custom audience. I would also walk you through how to do it for $2 a day for 30 days, for example, so that that ad will stay in front of your custom audience forever, for 30 days at like $2 a day, which is awesome. But for buyer ads, I just run them to the area. All right. I'm not running it to a custom audience. Lifetime budget 35. Again, everything here is editable. There's a lot of things in advanced options you can do. Most of them, unless you're really experienced, are going to cause you to probably have a worse performing ad. So unless you really know what you're doing, I would leave it all alone and just hit the create ad button. And again, when you're getting a bad result from your ad, the reasons are going to be usually one of three things: bad copy, bad text, bad image, or you kind of messed around the settings way too much, right? Or you're not consistent. That's the other thing. That's the thing. So, focus on consistency, focus on trying to stay with our default settings. Then here we got the social media post. So we're gonna get that up to our social media, right? That's our Google, that's our Instagram, X. There's a short form video script. Again, take that, use it as, go word for word with it, use it as inspiration, or paraphrase it. We got
can I ask
an
a question?
Yeah.
So the lady who did that South Florida new construction,
Uh-huh.
did she create a custom landing page or use one of?
It was this one right here. Yeah. I'm going to walk through creating a custom landing page so that, because you have unlimited, right? You could have, if you got let's say you got 5 new construction developments in your area, I can create 5 landing pages. And then I could, if I wanted to, I could add 5 listings to my account, right? One from each of the new construction developments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you
that's
can run it simultaneously.
right. Exactly. Yep. QR code. So again, if you wanted to go into Canva and you want to create a flyer, for example, maybe, or something like that, take the QR code, go take whatever you want, embed code. So I can put that at my website, which is very cool. All right. And that way people on my website can sign up for new construction homes and get that list. Now, any questions? Can I add my own domain? Yes, you can, Deb. Yep. Yeah, you'll see that. Here, let me show you. If I go back to
do it. Yeah. You want to
if
do
I go to
one.
edit,
Okay. Yeah.
and you can do this in your Listings to Leads profile. And in case you didn't know, in your Listings to Leads profile, you can do, like, maybe you got an IDX website and you want that domain to run through Listings to Leads. Go into your Listings to Leads profile, get that thing set up. It's a little convoluted, because you're doing DNS servers and all that kind of stuff. It'll take a few days to populate, I believe. Get with our support team. They've helped a number of our clients out. But if I go to here, advanced options, I believe. Yep, domains right there. So if I want to do it just at the landing page level, you could go use primary domain for this landing page. And then I believe, I don't know if you can do it here. Maybe you have to go through maybe you got to go through the profile. The other thing you can do, which is super easy, domain forwarding. So let's say, for example, I go to GoDaddy, I buy, new construction homes are the best.com. If I own that domain, I can click here, use domain forwarding, and either forward this domain to that one. So when people click on folsomsbrandnewhomes.com, instead of landing on this landing page, they would land on your other one, right? Or vice versa. So yeah, now that I've completely thoroughly confused everybody with that answer, the short answer is yes. Get with our support. They'll help you out. Sometimes I try to make things more simple, but I don't. All right. Let's see, got some good questions here that have been going on. Will this be, yes, this is being recorded. Most definitely. And what about the ad for the guide? Yeah, I'm going to get to the guides next. So we do have the PDF guide for, oh my gosh, it's already 6 o'clock. All right. I'm going to do create landing page 5 minutes and then 2 minutes for the guide. Ask any questions that you've got. I don't mind hanging out for a little bit. I'm going to click create landing page, add new. Now, we're famous for the expireds and FSBOs, right? I was talking to a client today with expired. Awesome. For our purposes here, I'm going to go custom landing page buyer. And I'm going to say the Oaks in Piedmont, whatever. Just trying to think of something I haven't used before. It gets a little hard after 10 years of always coming up with new areas. All right, everybody, give me a thumbs up if you are good to go so far. We're going to be here for just another maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So many people. Good to see everybody on the call, but give us a thumbs up. Make sure you're sharing, liking, commenting, tagging. Give it a second here. All right. So here we are, the Oaks in Piedmont. And we're going to be dropped off on the editor. I'm going to click open editor. Now I'm not going to go through every little thing here because this should look very familiar because we literally just walked through it. But here is the background image. And again, I can click upload image. Change that image to whatever I want, but it's got to be a big enough image. That is so funny. I've got all these. There we go. Use that one. If the image isn't big enough, then it can't use it, of course. Then we got the video. If the image is too light, you can shade it to look better. You got the social media share image. I can update that. Actually, once I save this, that will update automatically. Custom page content again. Here I can do the countdown counter. I'll just leave it blank, but you saw earlier where you can add the text and where it counts down to. And then I've got this. I can say the Oaks in Piedmont. And I'm going to say buyer incentives. Now, obviously, this is not anything I would ever go live with, but just so you can see how it works.
Yeah.
And that'll save. And then there's a drop down right here. So the page 1 is this page here. And then page 2, that will be where we capture the information. So that when people click get the free information now, or whatever it is that you change it to, because that's completely editable, then we'll go to page 2. So let's give it a second here. So there we go. So we go the Oaks in Piedmont, and you saw buyer incentives available. Page 2. And this is all customizable, similar to page 1. Then we got the success page. And again, customizable, similar to what we saw on page 1 and 2. You'll have all the same options here. So to the question of the person about domains, yes, those are customizable. You got the share image, again, the autoresponder, the domains, your pixel tracking, your preferences. And then now this is not going to be filled out because I didn't add anything to my landing page. But right here, you can already see it's starting to build out the ad for me, right? The Oaks and Piedmont buyer incentives available. So it's going to take what's on the landing page and put it in the editor. And to be honest, that is what I would run with a very light edit, if anything, because that way when people see the ad and then they see the landing page, the continuity, the congruity is on point. You know what I'm saying? Like is the closer the ad meets the landing page and or moves them further down the funnel. So if you change this to kind of set up the landing page a little bit, that's great. Otherwise, same or similar is awesome. And then, and then this way, now we got a great landing page for that area. All right. And again, you're going to build this out. You'll have a little bit more here, right? And you've got all those examples that I've got on the listingtoleads.com/new construction. So more examples there to take advantage of. Before I get into the PDF guide for new construction, I do want to talk about stories. So whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you've got our short form video script. So I recommend you got 60. Did you know that there are 60 short form video scripts for February alone?
No.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, I know there's so many, but these are awesome too. So promote those new construction on Instagram stories, on
Mm,
TikTok, because a lot of times you can put links. So check this out. It's going to play the music. All right. But notice it's got that link. That link is going to the single property website. So right from Instagram stories, I'm able to promote my new construction, same as all my listings. And then I got a poll down here, which if you're on mobile, if you're on your phone, you can check that out. In fact, I will put this into the chat so all of you can go ahead and take a look at that a little bit later. But what I want you to notice is we are taking content from listings to leads. And so here, coming soon. So again, new construction, free guide, 6 things to check before buying a home. And that's going to one of our PDF guides. So someone on the call just asked about our new construction PDF guide. Now
you
people can download this right here,
Mm.
right from my Instagram stories. And then I got another poll. What's the first thing you notice about this home? So we've got training on how to do this. If you need it, you can just ask in the mastermind group. I'll drop it in there for you. Another listing for sale, free guide to buying a home. Right, look at that. Right in the story, you can add links for more lead capture.
Mm.
And then I got a poll and some ideas for pending and sold, but we're not really covering that. Any comments before we wrap it up here after I show the PDF guides? So when you go to the PDF guide section, someone was asking earlier. Now, the only thing I'm going to say is be careful about running a paid ad for this. Oh, there it came up right there, right? New construction. If it didn't come up, you can always use the search field to search for the guides. And they are available in Spanish and English. So you got opportunities for both. You can click to download the guide right here. And then for marketing it, right, just like before, we got Facebook ads. It's going to default to lead ad. Type in your location. Upload your Canva image, do a video, use our image, up to you. But lifetime 35, start and end date. I don't think there's a faster way for doing Google or Facebook ads. And again, if this was a seller ad, I'd be doing a custom audience, of course. You can use your Red. So if you got a custom audience in Redx, you can use that through listings to leads. And yeah, just all the other tools here. So just like the listing, just like the landing pages, right? Google, social media post, short form video script, e-flyer.
I'm amazed how easy this is.
Yeah. Well, and don't forget, like the e-flyer for your database. Here's the thing.
What?
We had a client who sent this out, 10% response rate to his coldest lead. So he just grabbed his coldest leads that have never responded to anything as a test, sent out this email, and got a 10% response rate. So, and then here's the thing. We give you a database call script. So the idea is send that email about the new construction PDF guide. And they all work the same way, the seller guides, the buyer guides. But I would send that guide. I might send that one to all my leads because a lot of home sellers might buy construction, right? If they're kind of, they're thinking about selling, but the idea of like, oh, we got to wait for the perfect home to come on the market. Well, new construction is just sitting there. And so it can be really enticing to somebody that's been thinking about selling, but they just don't want to jump through hoops and go look at a million different homes because, they're going to come on sale and I got to hurry up and go see it. It's a lot of stress, especially if someone's a little bit older and they just don't want to deal with all that. But if there's a new construction that they could go see kind of, at their comfort, that's a much better plan for somebody like that. And so the point here is call through your database, right? Imagine you email, I could have emailed 8,000 people, but obviously I'm not going to call 8,000 unless I'm using regulated technology. But I could
Yes.
call 5 to 10 to 15 people, right? And I got a reason
That's
to.
out of it.
Yeah. Hey, E, this is Scott. Just want to let you know there's some great new constructions in the area. And I sent an e-flyer talking about some of the incentives and the opportunities around that. Just want to make sure you got that in this crazy market. If you have any questions, let me know. But it just gives you an opportunity to talk to them. And
Right.
especially if it's a unit that's not on the market previously or not in the MLS,
Mm-hmm.
because they would not have seen it before. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great for move up buyers, move down buyers, and just engage with a database.
Yeah. Maybe find, and I wasn't really thinking about it before, but hey, if there's a over 55 new construction
Community. Yeah.
development, that could be great. Go find all those homeowners that are, 50 and over, or that have lived in their home for, 15 to 20 years. So, they're probably a little bit older. That could be a phenomenal market, right? For or even like a smaller condo where people want to downsize into. So yeah, there's just so much opportunity with new construction. I think in an era where sometimes we need more buyers than we need sellers. Sometimes we need more sellers than we need buyers. And new construction can be a great gap to help make sure that you're more well-rounded.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Can you use a custom audience in Follow-Up Boss? Cindy, do you mean you have a custom audience in Follow-Up Boss, and can you use it here? If so, the answer is yes. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter where the custom audience was created. It could have been created in Facebook, KV Core, Follow-Up Boss, YLOPO. You have access to that in Listings to Leads. Wherever you are at. So for example, let's just say I was
That's
doing
what we
that
did
ad.
earlier, right? Copy the codes.
No. So all you have to do here. Now I wouldn't do a seller or a buyer ad for a custom audience, but just to show you
Okay.
where you see retarget current leads, you just drop in the audience. No matter where it was created, it will show up right there. All right. Cindy, does that answer your question for you? Thank you for the great question. Gordon Day, can you talk about market report? Market report. What market report? Yeah. Thank you so much, Trent, because I was just exploring the same niche. Oh, Marilyn, awesome. Good to hear that. Do I have to download that list into L2L? If you're talking about a custom audience, and oops, I got to run in a couple of minutes, but if you go to ads, you can do this in Facebook. You can do this there. There might be another program, but if you come here to create audience, this is where you go to upload that audience. We will then send that to Facebook. It can take 2 days to a week, depending on how long your account's been around, how many people are in the file. Facebook is going to go and try to match it up against the profiles within Facebook and Instagram. And here's the format for that file. So email, number, first name, last name. So whether it's from your database would be awesome. If you're using Redx, if you're using Vulcan 7, batch leads, right? My Plus leads, and you can get this kind of data from anywhere. Yep. Yeah. And I would just ask wherever it is that you buy or get your data from, just ask them, hey, when I download this, I'm doing it for a Facebook custom audience. They actually may have a filter or an option to download it in that format. But if not, I would just ask their support, right? I would just ask them to do it for you. Right? That's what some people do to us, I swear. Gordon, I thought you had something like market data. No, I don't think so. Yeah. All right. How do you put it in stories? Yeah, let me give you that
Well,
link.
for market
It's actually,
data, what you can do is, I think this is where ChatGPT comes into play, right? You can ask ChatGPT all the new constructions, market data, get some sort of a summary, then you can create a PDF or something,
Oh my
and
God,
a
yeah,
custom
yeah,
landing page, then can link
yeah.
to that. That's what I'm
Actually,
thinking of.
Gordon, I actually have. I'll have to find it. I did I have a prompt series that will create a email newsletter that rocks. I mean, it's you would think you paid somebody $100 to do this, and it's just like I can't remember. It's like 5 or 6 prompts, and then at the end of it, I say, great, take all this data, formulate it into a 5-paragraph email newsletter for me to send to my database. Current events, new listings, market trends. Yeah, it went through. Gordon, ping me on that a little bit later because I've got that somewhere. And in my history, I'm not sure if it was an X Grok or Chat GPT. It was in one of them. But oh my God, the output was so nice. Oh, it looks so good. And I'd be more than happy to share that maybe on another live at some point. That'd be kind of fun to go through. All right. Anybody else? I think we're good. Did we miss anything? Oh, about
I
stories. Here, let me
ah,
just, I'm going to grab that training really quick and I'll put it into the, like I said, it's on YouTube, and I could have gone to YouTube and searched for it, but I also know it's right here. All right, so here's the Instagram one. And I'll drop that in here for you. And then here is the one for TikTok. All right, so here's the TikTok one. All right, we got that. Everybody good to go. All right, super. All right. So there's the training video for Instagram, and there's the other one for TikTok. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us and staying with us today. It's been awesome to see you all. We are having the call tomorrow. What is the call tomorrow about? Open house? I think that's Wednesday. Man, what's the call tomorrow on? It is, let's go.
oh, expired?
No, I don't think so. The listing presentation. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. If you if anybody saw that post in the mastermind group, and I'll just kind of tease it for tomorrow. Open house mastery, you're going to want to be here for that if you want to convert open houses into listings and buyers. But let me just scroll down here. I'm going to find, yeah. So for the listing presentation, people love that idea, right? In fact, that's not the post. Here we go. So I did this whole thing about putting that listing presentation on a cup.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
I
Love
know I
it.
got a lot of great response from people. People are pinging me like, "Oh my God, how do you do that?" So I'm gonna walk through that a little bit tomorrow. But just to kind of tease it a little bit, because I was saying 2 things I have never thrown away: coffee cups and those notebooks. When I get a notebook like this, I've got like 3 or 4 or 5 of these, right? And I just grab them kind of intermittently, depends on what I'm doing or where I'm going when I'm traveling. But I've never thrown away a coffee cup, and I've never thrown away one of these cool like planners.
Right.
I'm just randomly making notes in it because I don't have time to, always throw things online. I just want it on paper because I want to refer to it when I'm just comfortable. So yeah, we're going to cover this tomorrow a little bit as well. And then Wednesday, we're going to do open house mastery. So if you're doing an open house this weekend and you are not 100% convinced that you're going to get as many people there as possible and you're going to convert as many people as possible, you're going to want to join us because, again, you're leaving money on the table if you're not implementing what we're teaching here. So thanks, everybody. Loved hanging out with you. Doug, yeah, right. It's just a cool thing, right? I think it's just it's not going to replace other things that I'm going to do around this. But when I'm in a market where I want to get someone's attention, I think that'd be, in a nice box with a nice little wrap around it, right? Drop it off on the door, maybe mail it, But yeah, that can be kind of cool. With that, Yi, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you. And you guys all have an awesome good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you.